It was a cold morning in Washington, D.C. The sun had barely touched the marble walls of the Pentagon when a call came through. Short, sharp, and terrifying. On the radar, something appeared. A missile, or at least it looked like one. For the next 20 minutes, the world stood on the edge of destruction. Generals stared at their screens. The president was alerted. The United States military went on high alert. One wrong move, and World War III would begin. No one spoke for a while. Just the beeping of the radar filled the silence. Deep underground in command bunkers, officers were already preparing to respond. Nuclear keys were checked, communication lines opened, and codes verified. The order could come at any second. Launch. But was it real, or just a false alarm? Those 20 minutes felt like an eternity. Every second was a question. Every breath could be the last before the world burned. What many people don't know is that America and Russia have come dangerously close to all-out war more than once. Not just during open conflicts, but in secret moments hidden behind classified walls. One of the most terrifying incidents happened on September 26, 1983, the night a man named Stanislav Petrov might have saved the entire planet. That night, the Soviet warning system detected multiple American nuclear missiles heading toward Moscow. Alarms blared. The screen showed clear evidence. Launch detected. According to Soviet protocol, they had to respond immediately. Within minutes, Russian missiles would be flying back toward America, and humanity would vanish. But Petrov didn't believe it. Something inside him said this was a mistake. He disobeyed the procedure and reported it as a false alarm. And he was right. It wasn't a launch, just a computer glitch. If Petrov had followed orders, there would have been no America left to tell the story. The US and Russia would have destroyed each other in less than an hour. Now imagine, what if someone on the American side had seen the same signal? What if the president, under immense pressure, had ordered a strike back? The Pentagon war rooms were built for this moment, and the U.S. was always ready to respond instantly. With over 6,000 nuclear warheads on standby, the button could be pressed at any moment. Fast forward to 1962, the Cuban Missile Crisis, another day when America almost went to war with Russia. Soviet ships carrying nuclear missiles were sailing toward Cuba, just 90 miles from Florida. When U.S. spy planes captured images of missile launch sites under construction, President John F. Kennedy faced the toughest decision of his life. Should he invade Cuba? Should he strike the Soviet ships? Or should he talk? The next 13 days became the most dangerous in human history. American destroyers surrounded Cuba. Russian submarines circled beneath them, armed with nuclear torpedoes. Any wrong move, any misunderstood signal, and the entire planet would explode in nuclear fire. The world held its breath. Children in American schools practiced hiding under desks. News anchors spoke with trembling voices. Everyone thought, this is it. This is how it ends. At one point, a Soviet submarine commander, cut off from communication, believed the war had already started. He ordered a nuclear torpedo to be armed. But one officer, Vasily Arkhipov, refused to give his consent. His single decision, one man against the tide, stopped that torpedo from launching. Another near miss that could have erased millions of lives. Years later, in 1983, NATO conducted a secret exercise called Able Archer 83, simulating a full-scale nuclear response. The Soviets misunderstood it as a real attack. They prepared their bombers, loaded nuclear weapons, and moved troops into combat readiness. One misinterpreted signal could have led to a global catastrophe. The CIA later revealed that the situation had reached the most dangerous level since the Cuban Missile Crisis. But the tension didn't end with the Cold War. In recent years, new flashpoints have emerged. Cyber warfare, proxy conflicts, and dangerous close calls between U.S. and Russian jets over Syria and the Black Sea. In 2020, a U.S. Navy ship came within striking range of a Russian warship. Both captains issued warnings over radio. Change your course. Negative, you change yours. For minutes, the two ships were one bad decision away from a collision that could have triggered a war.
And today, as both nations upgrade their nuclear arsenals, the risk remains as real as ever. Hypersonic missiles can now hit targets in under 10 minutes. Submarines lurk silently beneath the ocean, capable of wiping out entire cities before radar can even detect them. Artificial intelligence now plays a role in early warning systems. But what happens if an AI makes a mistake? What if it decides there's a threat when there isn't? Every generation of leaders faces the same nightmare, the idea that a misunderstanding could end the world. Even during times of peace, both sides run drills, practice responses, and prepare for the day they hope never comes. In 2022, when tensions over Ukraine reached their peak, Russian state media spoke openly about nuclear readiness. American bombers began flying patrols near NATO borders again. The old fear returned, the fear that a single human error could erase everything. Think about this. Every second, somewhere on Earth, a radar operator is staring at a screen, watching for movement. Somewhere deep underground, a missile crew is waiting for an order that hopefully never arrives. And in a world filled with political chaos, cyber attacks, and rising nationalism, it might take just one false signal, one hacked system, one broken communication line to start it all over again. This is not just history. It's a reminder of how fragile peace really is. We live in a world where two nations hold the power to end civilization, and both believe they're defending it. America's military power stands unmatched, but so does Russia's nuclear capability. Both countries know the first to strike will not survive the second strike. Mutual destruction is guaranteed. And yet even now, warplanes shadow each other over international waters. Submarines play hide-and-seek under the Arctic. Satellites monitor every launch site, every base, every move. The Cold War never truly ended. It just became quieter, hidden behind diplomacy and technology. The question is, how long can this balance last? What happens the next time a radar blip shows up at 3 a.m.? What if someone mistakes a satellite launch for a missile attack? What if a president, half asleep, has only minutes to decide the fate of the world? There's a saying in military strategy: the closer you are to peace, the closer you are to destruction. Because peace at this level depends not on trust, but on fear. Fear of the other side pressing the same red button. The world doesn't realize how many times we've been seconds away from annihilation. Documents declassified years later show that both sides launched planes, loaded warheads, and armed defenses multiple times, thinking the other had already attacked. Each time, luck or human hesitation stopped the final command. Maybe that's what keeps us alive. The hesitation of a single mind that says, wait, something isn't right. Because when computers make decisions, there's no second thought. And that's the terrifying truth. The next war might not start with an angry leader, but with an algorithm. For now, America stands as the most powerful military force on Earth, a force capable of global dominance. But power always comes with risk. And history proves that the most dangerous moment is not when two enemies hate each other. It's when they misunderstand each other. So the next time you see headlines about rising tensions, remember, we've already stood at the edge before. We've already faced the countdown. And one day, someone will face it again. The question is, will they make the same choice Petrov made? Or will fear finally win? And if you want to uncover more shocking truths, mysterious stories, and hidden moments that change the world, make sure you follow this channel, because this is where the real power stories of America are revealed.